Montegi's race last year too. So he has some pedigree in this class as we're 1 minute away.
Certainly are then. Here is the starting grid for races 1 and 2 here in Japan. Adaki from Ozawa, the returning Ozawa and Mitani. Ogiwara, Hafai and Pratama make up row 2 with Alsahuti, Takahira and Fadiya on row 3. Row 4 sessions have been dry for the Asia Talent Cup riders as they fire their Honda NSF 250Rs away from the starting grid for the sighting lap. The warm-up lap here in the Asia Talent Cup. Raw past our commentary box window, an absolute racket. These bikes might be smaller in stature than the Grand Prix.
Yeah, 100%. Typically is in these Talent Cup races as well. It's always a thrilling watch, and with so much pedigree on the track here, you've got Shinya Ozawa coming back into it. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do today, and of course tomorrow. Veda Pratama starting 6th on the grid, which is maybe a little bit of a surprise, given that he was 3rd in last year's championship and has plenty of
73 degrees Fahrenheit air temperature. Nice conditions for these riders. So about to get underway here at the Mobility Resort Motegi. The sun peeping through the clouds as it sets in the land of the rising sun. I think all riders, just the two at the back, just lining up to their grid spots, will get the green flag waving at the front of the grids. We will shortly be underway. The red flag clears, the green flag waves at the back. The riders are ready to kickstart their season once again after a couple of months break from Malaysia. And we are waiting for the red lights to come on. It took a while, but they are on now, and we are underway here in Japan. And it's a great start for the number 21 of Ozawa, the returning Ozawa gets the launch. It wasn't a good getaway for the number 14 of Adaki from pole position. Who's going to get the whole shot? It is the number 21 of Ozawa. Mitani getting a good start as we have drama unfolding at the back of the field in the mid-pack. Can't quite tell who's gone down. The number... Yeah, can't quite tell who's gone down there.
We've lost the number 12 there of Marianas Nicholas, which is a big shame for him. He had a decent qualifying. I didn't quite see who the other bike was going down, but a shocking start for Maimon Odaki. He started on pole and was
Malaysia, but it's Ozawa, the returning Ozawa, who's got plenty of experience under his belt. Finished P2, of course, in last year's championship. Knows exactly what he's doing as we go about 4 abreast into the tight and twisty turn 11, 90-degree corner. I said we're going to see fireworks down there already, Chris, and we've seen them already.
Absolutely, and Mitani is taking no prisoners so far, but look who's in 4th place.
Back at the front, number 16, the Ogiwara, Japanese rider, was leading. Not going to be for long because Ozawa pulls out the stream, his compatriot, and makes his way up the inside down at turn 5. Another popular passing manoeuvre. Adaki, has set the fastest lap of the race at 2:03.512. They're not quite on par with what they were setting in qualifying just yet. We can expect to see the times to continue to tumble as the riders get to grips with the race and start to get into a rhythm, if that rhythm is at all possible to get into in the Asia Talent Cup, with how many different passing manoeuvres come their way. The number 2 of Mitani just trying to have a sneaky look at the inside of Pratama, but not quite this time around.
Yeah, our lead group of 4 has now grown to a lead group of 7. The likes of Adaki, Takahira and Puetiesan coming back into this one. So 7-rider fight for the lead. The likes of Al-Sahuti leading group 2 with Hafi, Putra, One Moon, all part of that. But all eyes on the front, the number 7 of Pradama, just getting overtaken here by the number 2 of Mitani, and Shinya Ozawa slotting into 3rd position. So it's again all chopping and changing.
We have to have riders going through there at any point between today and tomorrow morning.
Absolutely super move then from Ogiwara to move into 3rd position at the expense of Ozawa, and he's at it again up the inside of Mitani to move into 2nd position, and he's now chasing down Pradama out front. Has Mitani got a response for him in 3rd place? No, Ogiwara is going to try one out the inside, gets the outside line, and then up the inside, and he's in 1st position. 3 absolutely outstanding moves over the last 4 corners from the young Japanese rider.
Yeah, good stuff from the young Japanese rider. Just missed out on a podium in race 2 back in Malaysia, so he'll be hungry, just as all of these riders are, to stand.
Settle down just a little bit. I hope I don't give it the commentator's curse, particularly for the case of Pratama and Odaki, who are leading out in front as we look at the slow-mo coming over the hill here, and what a shot that is.
Yeah, it certainly is a great shot. The sun setting here in Japan makes for great views. You can see some of the riders wearing slightly less tinted visors. Always great to see the riders' eyes. Gives you a brand new perspective, an interesting perspective into what the riders are doing inside the helmets, concentrating on nailing that apex as all these riders have done down into turn 11, and then they fire it up through the gears through turn 12, 13 and 14 under down into turn 11. It's the last passing manoeuvre on the lap, the last real passing manoeuvre. Of course, you can hang it around the outside at turn 12 and turn 13. We're going to get a replay here just as soon as he applies the anchors, applies the front brakes, click it down the gearbox, the rear wheel comes up into the air, and if you've got the rear wheel in the air, you can't slam on the rear brake. That obviously helps the riders break down into all these corners. And it was very close there on the exit as well, wasn't it? As Pratama then has a little bit of an advantage, the biggest we've seen so far. Half a second lead, 0.4 seconds his advantage. So can he build on that this time around? The riders just behind have got a box clever now. They know that Pratama's got some good pace here in Motegi, and he's going to be into his rhythm as the number 9 of Takahira runs wide. Looks behind him and sees a face full of Fuetizan, the Thai rider. They're just dropping off the back a little bit of those two riders. Come through the first split and see what... I don't think it's going to be as you were as they power down the hill for the penultimate time, of course. Pratama, his lead is now up to pretty much 2 seconds there or thereabouts. The number 7 is well on his way to victory, but the number 2, Mitani, shows a wheel to Adaki, but doesn't quite do it this time around, but knows there's only 1 lap to go. So
Adaki goes a little bit wider, but holds onto second position. Mitani remains in third. Izawa and Ogiwara then swarming all over the two ahead of them as they look to get themselves onto the podium. As we said, look at Pratama in a world of his own. Odaki then leading here, but the number 16 of Ogiwara, he's up the inside of Mitani. Will he hold on for third place?
Great move from Ogiwara down into turn 3. The riders running wide then on the final lap. I was going to mention that they were close on the exit of turn 2, but they have exceeded track limits on the final lap. So we're potentially going to get some demoted positions here in the Asia Talent Group. That's not what we wanted to see, but we'll concentrate on the racing that's in front of us for now. So far, it's the number 14 of Adaki who leads the second.
And hard braking as we look at Mitani firing it down the inside. Will he make it stick this time? Oh, he's on the inside. There's two and he's out of the seat. Oh, Mitani is now into second position, but Odaki's going to fight back.
That's close.
And it's Izawa. It's elbows out. Here we go, El.
Yeah, final corner. It's perfection from Pratama on the number 17. He takes victory, but who is going to take second place? The number 2 of Mitani crosses the line in second place, but we've got to watch out for track limits. Didn't quite see who was third. Let's look to the time screens. It was Adaki who won the race to the line for the final spot on the podium. Ogiwara crossed the line fourth with Azara, the number 21, down in fifth. Drama then down at turn 11. On the exit of turn 11, it was very, very close through there and under the bridge at turn 12. We're going to have to wait for some results to come through. It's Pratama, Mitani and Adaki on the podium as things stand. Pratama will be your race winner of that, there is no doubt, but we had some exceeding track limits.
500ths of a second between Ogiwara and Odaki as they came across the line. And Shinya Izawa is the one to miss out, which I'm slightly surprised at, but Zen Mitani in second place, and it's a brilliant move.
Be your podium. We're not getting confirmation at all on our timing screens. We've already got Al Sahuti, who was demoted 1 position, so obviously race direction and the stewards are on it in terms of that. So maybe this is your final podium. Of no dispute though is your race winner, Chris, Veda Pratama, coming from outside of row 2, 6th on the grid for Veda Pratama. It was nearly 7/10 off in qualifying, so it was, as we were discussing earlier, Chris, that you can't look too much into qualifying. Obviously the riders who qualify up towards the sharp end of the grid, the riders on the opening few laps piling their way down into turn 11. Pratama there, the eventual race winner on the number 7 machine, hard on the anchors. Adaki there on the number 14 bike, also hard on the anchors. Mitani on the number 2 machine as well. Some spectacular slow-mo shots made even better by the setting sun here in Motegi. Won't get the same shots in Motegi. Won't get the same shots tomorrow morning, different time of day, but here is confirmation then of the results, and it is, as you were, across the line. Veda Pratama wins from Zen Mitani and Eamon Adaki. What a fight it was in the podium fight. Ryota Ogiwara claims fourth, with Shinya Ozawa just missing out on the podium in fifth. So too did Takehira in P6. Fuetizan wasn't too far off the podium fight in seventh, with Faris Nicholas and Okanuki. Didn't finish lap one as we saw drama at turn one. Fingers crossed all the riders are okay. Here's your Riders' Championship after 3 races in 2023. Pratama extends his lead to 15 points. So shakes the hand of his compatriot of Mitani, and then they welcome to the podium the race winner, Pratama, by 3 seconds in the end. And like I say, race 1 coming up tomorrow morning at 9:45. So don't forget about that. You're going to want to tune in if race 1 is anything to go by. You'll be seeing all these riders in the lead group, just as they were today. Hopefully they've packed some room in their suitcases to carry the trophies home with them. They'll be the first ones that they'll collect on this tour of Asia, following around the MotoGP paddocks, and all 3 of them, we're hoping that's the first of many, of course, as we get set to complete the Asia Talent Cup in 2023. We head on to Indonesia, of course, next, then it's Thailand, then it's Malaysia, and then it's Qatar. But let's hear the national anthem of your race winner, Pratama. Great to hear the Indonesian national anthem ringing around the mobility resort Motegi.